All right, so to open the UFC 268 pay-per-view, Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler went in there, and this was, you know, obviously two of the top five lightweights in the world. Not official, but I think most people kind of saw this as a number one contenders fight. Of course, Islam Makhachev has something to say about that, but at the end of the day, these two guys, very tough, both in the top five. You know what I mean? And it was a hell of a fight. It didn't take a genius to expect this one to be a hell of a fight, and it did turn out to be that way. A lot of people didn't expect this to go to the decision. I don't know how you could expect it to, but it did. And it's not because they weren't hitting hard. It's just because these two guys are incredibly tough. I mean, I feel like probably most other people on the roster would have got finished in that fight if they were either guy, you know. First round starts, Chandler comes out strong, and obviously Gaethje has been out for over a year since his fight against Khabib. So it seemed like Gaethje was kind of clearing the cobwebs, getting back in the swing of things. You know, he hadn't been in the octagon for a while. He's kind of getting his feet wet a little bit, while Chandler is, you know, dumping a brick house on him. You know, I mean, Chandler was coming at him. I don't know if that was the right term there, but Chandler was coming at him, throwing heavy shots and landing, man. I was worried for Gaethje in that first round because Chandler was coming on hard and he was landing big shots. But Gaethje, man, you know the guy's got an iron chin, takes punishment, and every time you think Gaethje is about to wilt, you know, anytime you see the other man coming on, landing big shots, anytime you think Gaethje's going to turn his back to the fence and get finished, no, Gaethje starts swinging bombs, and chances are he lands one. And you know he's still rocked when he's throwing them, but he's landing them, and it turns it into a hell of an exchange, and that was a crazy fight. Once Gaethje got out of the first round, it seemed like the not that Chandler wasn't dangerous, but that immense level of danger where he was nearly getting finished in the first round seemed to kind of dissipate. You know, Gaethje started to kind of take control of the pace of things. He was setting up his shots really well. He wasn't kind of jumping into exchanges. He wasn't sitting in the pocket with Chandler too much. He was, you know, digging those low kicks, and Chandler had some nice low kicks too, I should say. This was a hell of a fight. You know, Gaethje won, rightfully so, but what a hell of a fight from both guys. You know, as I was saying, Gaethje was sitting on those leg kicks. You know, those leg kicks looked rough, man. Gaethje's got a hell of a leg kick, but also just the counters, man. The uppercuts, the right hands. He's finishing every combo with a left hook, and man, it was just very impressive to watch Gaethje kind of pick Chandler apart as the fight went on. But Chandler, like I said, this was a great fight. I think as the fight went on, Chandler got a little bit too. I don't know, not that he wasn't trying to win. I mean, obviously he was trying to win, but it started to get to the point where I feel like he was letting his ego get the best of him. Maybe he wanted to put on a show. He wanted to knock out Gaethje. He should have probably went to the wrestling a little bit more, kind of maybe not slowed the pace down, but it just seemed to me like Chandler got to the point where he wasn't exactly considering game plan in a lot of his, approach. Seemed like he was just, as he was saying in the build up to this fight, he was just kind of moving forward with reckless abandon. There was a point in the third round where, I mean, his hands were down and he was just full on Terminator zombie mode, just taking punishment, and he took like 3 shots and then put his hands back up and reset. But, I just don't think that was necessary. And of course, for the fans, it was great to watch. It was tremendous. But, that's just, if you're Henry Hooft, that's not what you want to see from Michael Chandler in that exchange. The guy clearly getting charged up in the moment, Madison Square Garden, Justin Gaethje. But at the end of the day, that's not what's going to get you victories. You know what I mean? But was it fun to watch? It was fun to watch, man. That was a hell of a fight. Got to be fight of the year. I mean, I haven't seen a fight this year that I think could beat that one. So personally, I think that's got to be fight of the year. But like I said, man, that was a hell of a back and forth fight. Chandler showing, a lot of people were questioning Chandler's toughness. Oh, he got knocked out by Pitbull. He got, his peroneal nerve kicked by Brent Primus. He got knocked out by Oliveira. No, man, this guy is tough. I mean, he took tons of knockout shots from Gaethje in that fight that most other human beings would have been knocked out by. So you can't knock Chandler for the loss. The guy is clearly one of the best in the division. I'd like to see him fight, I don't know, Beneil Dariush, or maybe coming off 2 losses. Beneil wouldn't like that, but I don't know, man. Chandler to me is definitely one of the toughest opponents in the lightweight division, especially in the first round. I mean, that guy can knock out anybody except for apparently Justin Gaethje, because that guy also is tough as nails. And after that fight, I think you got to give Justin Gaethje the title shot. And I know if you're an Islam Makhachev fan, you don't want to hear that. Makhachev is on, 9, 10 wins in a row. But at the end of the day, man, Gaethje's been in the UFC for I don't know how much longer, but he's definitely been fighting the upper echelon of competition in the UFC for a lot longer than Islam. He's coming off, a title loss to Khabib. You can't knock him for that. Even in that fight, he had some moments in the first round. Of course, he got finished with his swiftness on the ground in the second against Khabib. But like I said, in the first round, he did have some good moments against Khabib. And before that, he's on a great win streak, destroys Tony Ferguson. After that, fight of the year candidate against Michael Chandler. Like, I don't know how you can skip this guy for the title shot. If anything, have him fight Islam for the #1 contender and put the winner of Oliveira Poirier on ice. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think probably Gaethje will go on to fight the winner of Poirier Oliveira, and unfortunately Islam Makhachev will probably have to fight one more #1 contenders fight to get that title shot, probably against a guy like Beneil Dariush. That's what I see happening. You get Gaethje versus the winner of Poirier Oliveira for the belt, and then you get Islam and Beneil maybe even on that same card for #1 contenders fight against the winner. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think that would be definitely the most likely case scenario. But man, that fight between Gaethje and Chandler was crazy. Haven't rewatched it. Oh, I forgot to mention too, Chandler did shoot for the legs a couple times. Got that bit. He was about to slam Gaethje on his head. That was going to be a huge highlight, and I mean it is a huge highlight because Gaethje rolls out of it, rolls under Chandler, creates a crazy scramble. Like, it was just a crazy fight to watch. I mean, you couldn't take your eyes off the screen. I'm yelling all over the place. And then Billy Quarantillo and Shane Burgos were after that, and they're throwing heavy leather. But it's like, man, we just watched the fight of the year. Like sorry, Billy and Shane, but like, man, we're still trying to process what just happened. You know what I mean? But so great card of fights. Yeah, like I said, Gaethje and Chandler, those two guys are tough as nails. Like, those are two of the best lightweights in the UFC for sure. So, whoever they fight next, I'll be tuning in to watch. So let me know what you guys thought about that, who you think should be next for those guys. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe for more videos like this one, and thank you very much for watching.